I'm about to drop this record. We've been working on this since about 2016, 17. And we finally got it mixed and done. And
That's
so
funny,
I'm
man.
excited about it,
Funny,
man.
funny.
I think it's the best way I can describe it, EJ, is we're I don't want to say that because people are always using these catchy phrases. I'll just, not a new way. Worship is a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a sound. It's not a certain type of music.
Right.
It's a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever you worship
Mm-hmm.
is the direction that your lifestyle or your sound or your rhythm are going. And so it may come off in different rhythms and different styles of music, but it's still all worship the same because it's going toward the same perspective, which is the God perspective on the inside of us,
Right.
the Christ perspective. But sometimes we got to speak to. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
some of these songs might sound like one thing,
Yeah,
and then this is going to sound real worshipy. Like we really can
Right,
do this
right,
in the church,
right,
and I
but
can
it's
get
all-
off in the. But it's like all my day, all day long is worship.
Right.
Whether I got my hands up and I'm crying or whatever, it's all worship.
Right.
You get me? And so here it is. We about to drop this one real soon, and I'm so glad because
Long time.
it's just a long time coming. Here we go.
You are the most high God, and I want to thank you for your love. Without it, where would I be, oh God? So I love you in return, forevermore.
You are the most high God,
Shout out to Money,
and
Simone Franklin,
I wanna thank you
and
for
Money.
your love. Without it, where would I be? Oh God, so I love you in return, forevermore.
So I love you in return, forevermore.
Go.
You are, and I wanna thank you for your love. Without it, where would I be? Oh God, and I love you forever.
Somebody say, oh.
Feels like we recorded it yesterday, though. You know what I'm saying?
So I
It's fresh, bro.
forevermore.
See ya. Never know what to say. Say oh.
Yo. Bro.
I'll always love you forever. I'll always love you forever. I'll always love you forevermore. Never know all your love towards me. Never know your love.
Oh, your love.
Oh, your love.
Oh, your love.
right, we're gonna fade that joint down because that song is 6 minutes long.
Right.
So I'm trying to
Get into it.
Yeah, get into it. It's Forevermore. It's gonna be out real soon. So make sure y'all check it out and share it with your mom and them, your nanny and them, all that, and let them know. The last part we did was so dope about the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things too, I want to say is that sometimes what God will do. Watch this, because he did it to us just now. We were trying to go live. I got my Instagram live on there, but I was about to go live on the wrong, and he kept on messing up. I was about to go live on the wrong Instagram. I got a bunch of profiles on my phone.
Yeah.
I was about to go live on the wrong one. I wanted to go on my personal, but I was about to go live on some other one, and the thing kept messing up, and I got aggravated a little bit. For a quick second, I got a little aggravated because I was like, man, why I keep messing up? Keep throwing it off, blah, blah, blah. But then I started paying attention, and I realized, I'm glad that it wasn't working in the rhythm that I thought.
Right.
Because although I had the right motion, I had the right intention, I was on the wrong platform.
Yeah.
I was on the wrong stream. You get it? I was about to stream to the wrong place.
Right.
And those little things that threw me off got me to wake up and pay attention to where I was actually supposed to be focused at.
Right.
Or the direction, this is what I'm about to say, the direction that I was actually supposed to be going in.
Wow.
And so what I found out, and this happens to me a lot, and I don't want to be, sometimes people think you're being super deep, and I don't, but I start paying attention because sometimes when I try to do something and it doesn't work immediately, you got the whole, you got to persevere, you got to fight through and everything. Yeah. But it's like less than fighting. Jesus doesn't talk about fighting a lot. So less than fighting and persevering through, sometimes I pause and in my patience possessing my soul. That's Luke 21:19 if y'all want to read it. I possess my soul and I say, okay, what's going on? Because I've noticed that he'll do that, and then I realize, oh man, that was the wrong timing. I was about to do the wrong thing. I was about to send it to the wrong account or whatever it was.
Right.
I was about to mess up.
Right.
And so sometimes what God will do, and this is the grace of God, and we'll talk about this another time, but the love of God will, when you're intending to be on the right rhythm, he'll throw off your erroneous rhythms. Or the rhythms, the wrong rhythms, he'll throw them off. He'll throw a wrench into it, and you think something ain't working, but it wasn't supposed to work.
Right.
That was never your rhythm in the first place.
Right.
And so sometimes God will throw you off the rhythm that you're in, but you're going to get agitated at first because you've been in that flow for so long. And you're comfortable in that flow, and you've kind of mastered that flow.
Right.
But that may not be the flow of the master.
Right.
And so he'll throw something in, throw a wrench in your plan, or throw something and throw you off beat. For you to lay down a little bit, sometimes you got to knock you down.
Yeah.
For you to lay down and realize and catch the right rhythm and get up and start walking toward the rhythm. Even acknowledging all your ways and not direct your path, that's rhythm, even in the way it's said.
Yep.
But that's rhythm. Pathways and ways are rhythm.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so it throw you off the rhythm. Now, when you're thrown off the rhythm, the number one reason to throw you off the rhythm is for you to not know the rhythm that you have.
Yeah.
And I guess this part is dope because I wanna name this Read the Room. And since we're going rhythm, and I'll stick this. Since we're going rhythm, one of the things that I prided myself in doing over the years, I've been singing on stage, in front of people, or in crowds, man, for the last, I don't know, man, 30 years, 20, 30 years crazy. I'm a young dude I always says I'm a young dude with an older man's experience, right? And because of this, I had a friend of mine, shout out to Brian, man. I be missing Brian so much sometimes.
Right.
But I don't know why I say that. He's not dead. I hit him up. All right, Lord, I hit him up. But he made a statement to me one time. He said, bro, and this is years back, and he said, bro, and I'm never one for compliments. I ain't too much for compliments. And he had to tell me, like, bro, look, I'm not trying to, buck your head up and nothing like that. He said, I'm just telling you. He said, bro, just paying attention to how you on stage. He said you really command the room. He said you know how to read the crowd and read the room and know what's going on. And I guess that'll lead me to the conversation we're having is about reading the room. And the ultimate room reader was Jesus.
Yeah.
Like he knows how to read the room, but it's not like you think. Say, move around, man, or read the room, right? You got to read the room when they're talking about tact or communication or how you do things. But I understand that when I'm thrown off of my rhythm, right, then just like in the garden, I don't know what I have, and so I reach for something else.
Right.
My rhythm becomes reaching, right, instead of releasing. Oh man, that's dope. Clap. Oh, I ain't got no clap. We got the clap. My rhythm becomes a reaching rhythm instead of a releasing rhythm. Out of thy belly shall flow. There it is. Give me some more. Turn them on. Give me some more. Give me some clap. Out of thy belly, he that believeth on me, Jesus says, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
Yeah.
But rivers are the epitome of rhythm. If you go out there, we can go out there to the close one, Mississippi River right now. They're more. It's not even going in waves though. A river has more rhythm than the ocean.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Ocean got a rhythm, they crash, but the rhythm, it keeps flowing. And so if I could throw you off of that, then you don't know what you had. What you about to say? I see your face. I know you do like that.
Nah, I look at you just said rivers, and I was looking at some stuff a while ago about rivers and how you just said it, but it's crazy that the rivers have more rhythm than the ocean.
Yeah.
The ocean is standstill. Okay, we know that.
Right.
But how we got these streams and everything, and the water that's trickling through the continents is off the river's rhythm.
It's a rhythm.
Hitting something.
It's a rhythm.
And forming it right.
And shooting that way. It forks out.
Yeah, it forks out, and it's chipping away at the earth. It's bringing life where it needs to be.
Bringing life where it needs to be at. Yep. Transporting things up the river in a certain direction. Now rivers are very, very similar, or they're identical to our vessels.
Yep.
The kingdom of God is within you. Out of our belly shall flow rivers. Like is vessels. Is a bunch of pipelines, and so the rhythm. If I can throw you off of your rhythm, then I can kill your flow.
Right.
You got it. And so, but when I throw you off your rhythm, off your flow, then you don't realize what you have.
Right.
So you're no longer releasing. Now you're reaching. And so I got you reaching. You don't know what you have. So because you don't know what you have, you can't really produce what should be produced because you're reaching off of the false concept that you don't have.
Yep.
You get it? And I know this is some of this is rhythmic understanding. Some of this is your mind has to change. Right? Think like this. Jesus was talking about think like this.
Yep.
Change it's like this. He's saying this because I'm trying to change the way that you see. Deny yourself, lose your life to find it. Find what? Find the rhythm.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It's so sometimes people listen. Some of y'all might be watching this and listening right now and you say, well, but I know I ain't got nothing because the rhythm that you're paying attention to is your bank account.
Yeah.
You're paying attention to the thing the doctor told you. You're paying attention and y'all go watch that last part because a lot of your health issues are simply rhythm as well, right? And you're looking and you're thinking, I don't know what you're talking about. Because what you mean what I have? I don't have anything. Well, that's not true. It's not true at all. We're gonna do a part about grace, and people got grace all wrong because grace is not something else that's coming to you or something that's happened to you when you were born. And it's grace. But we'll get to y'all. Make sure y'all tune in the next part. We'll record that one later. But if I throw you off your rhythm, you don't know what you have.
Yeah.
And so if you don't know what you have, then you will improperly read the room.
Yep.
And when you improperly read the room, you begin to function in a way that's not conducive to what you really have. There's a scripture in Romans that say the whole creature is waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. And sometimes I think my baby was looking at me. Shanice, shout out to Shanice. She looking at me one day. We was doing something. I said something. And I was doing something certain when she got this mean side eye, right? Like, and she was like, she kind of looked at me like, babies.
Right. Yeah.
She looked at me like that because almost like, what you talking about? I'm looking at you. Why you got a problem with this? Or why you just don't? And sometimes in my mind I be thinking she be like, why don't you just tell it what to do? Why don't you just command it? Sometimes the dogs, our dogs, shout out to Red Shepherds, our dogs look at us and they be like. Like
right.
Like you the boss. What you
right.
what you waiting on me to do something for? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is that concept? And if you don't know what you have, you'll function as a have not. Watch me. So can we go? Let's go real quick. Let's go to Jesus. We're talking about reading the room. Now, in the Old Testament, God is always teaching them how to read the room. He gives instructions, tell them to do this. When you get to Jesus and hear the gospel, you don't hear Jesus saying God told him anything.
Nope.
You don't hear him the famous phrase we have when God told me. You know what I'm saying? And I heard the voice of God. Every time we heard the voice of God in the New Testament, in the Gospels, it's God talking to some other people
right.
talking about this is my beloved son. I be wondering, bro. Sometimes people say, I need a word from the Lord. I need a word from God.
Right.
I need to hear God, and all God gonna tell you is this is my beloved son. Hear you him.
Yeah.
Have you heard Jesus yet?
Yep.
Because if you haven't heard Jesus, shout out to Red 30. If you hadn't heard Jesus, then why are you asking for something else?
Right.
You don't need the advanced thing because you hadn't done the simple thing that you hadn't denied yourself yet.
Right.
So, but Jesus, right?
Yep.
And so I'm guarding and I'm gonna go to Jesus. So the serpent gets Adam off his rhythm and gets him and Eve to reach for a godliness that they already had. And God had told them what the product of the godliness is. It's fruitfulness, multiplication, replenishing, right? Right? And subduing. This is the product of what you have already.
Yeah.
This is what the God nature produces.
Yep.
Right? I give you every herb bearing seed. That's what he tells them.
Yeah.
So hold on. So I've given you something already.
Right.
You got herb bearing seed. Don't say what you won't have. Right? So now, and I'm gonna fast forward to Jesus, but I even like the little story. You know the story about the little woman that was she was about to they were about to come take her son.
Yeah.
And the prophet came, and so she was telling her problem. And I guess what she was waiting for is the prophet said, well, in the name of, well, Jesus wasn't there yet, so he couldn't say the name of Jesus. So he said, in the name of God, in the name of the God of our fathers of Abraham, whatever, however they would announce it, right? She was expecting the prophetic move of him to, and whatever, right? The debt ain't gonna come. I ain't never seen the bill collector stop, right? Like, it's whatever. He doesn't say that. He asks a question. He says, watch this. He's reading the room. He said, well, what do you have in the house? He doesn't ask her. She talks about what she needs. But he doesn't pay attention about, because he knows that what you need, you have the capability to produce what you think you need. Your father already knows you have need of.
Right.
What you got in the house?
Right.
She said, well, and then watch this. Your perspective on life will show your perspective on what you have. Oh, I just got a little oil in the cruise. All right? She sees that she got a little oil and a little bit of thing. That's all she feel like she got. The prophet, with the eyesight of the mentality of God, he has a different rhythm of vision. Different vision rhythm, right?
Yeah.
He sees, oh, you got something in there. All right. Here's what you do. Go in the house. You and your son, go borrow the vessels from your neighbor. See, now I'm giving you rhythm. Go borrow the vessels from your neighbor. Go in the house. You and your son, close the door, and then start to pour. Close the door, start to pour. Close the door, start to pour. See rhythm. See how the rhythm catch on. If you catch on, close the door, then you start to pour. And this might be a good word for a lot of people in your life. Maybe you need to close the door and start to pour.
Yeah.
Stop trying to get outside and see what everybody's doing, or get acknowledgement from other people, or get somebody to get validation. None of that. Close the door and start to pour. God then gave you something already. You need to search and see what He's given you already. And it may not, the seed doesn't look like anything on the next day that you sow it. But you have to keep rising night and day. You go look at the last part. It's in Mark 4.
Man.
He said, the kingdom of God is a man's cast seed in the ground. Rise night and day. There's rhythm. You rise night and day, right? You just rise night and day. It didn't say go nowhere else. It didn't say throw another seed. It just say rise night and day. Close the door and pour. He told him close the door and then pour out. The woman went in, did the rhythm that he gave her. He said, and did the rhythm he gave her, and she kept pouring, and the little oil that was a little oil in a little thing ended up multiplying into tons of oil in different vessels, right? Now, most people say, oh, it's a miracle. Oh, my God, it's a miracle. No, cells multiply.
Right.
It is the DNA of the cell to multiply. This is why you and I are no longer little babies. We're grown people. With this cell, everything is a cell multiplication. Even sickness and disease is when something has thrown off your rhythm and stopped your cell from multiplying. Cells are multiplying in the proper way. Yeah. Or you got some cells that are multiplying that shouldn't be multiplying anymore.
Right.
It's all rhythm.
Right.
It's really not miraculous. It's actually actual. But you don't know what you have.
Right.
Watch this. We're gonna so miracle. You read the room. So she pours it all. She come back to the prophet and say, oh, look what happened, blah, blah, blah. He said, okay, cool. Now we got to keep the rhythm. And keep the rhythm going. All right, take what you have, sell it, right? Pay your debts and live off the rest. Which means she was set for life.
She was solid.
But it comes from the little all that she had in the house. Let's go further. Let's fast forward to Jesus. And watch, he's going to teach you how to read the room. Because when you know what you have, you understand that concept of cell multiplication. You understand how things go. So you understand that there is no such thing as lack.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as, there's not enough, because if you have anything, you have everything.
Yep.
Watch me. Listen, just listen. So read the room. But cause if I can get you to not know what you have, if you don't know what you have, then what you have could never multiply.
Mm-hmm.
See, you know what you have, and then you got to put what you have in the right soil. Watch me.
Mm-hmm.
It's seed. So here's Jesus. I'm gonna take you to two places, and actually I'm gonna take you to three. We're gonna do it real quick. I'm gonna take you to three different occurrences, and one of them doesn't seem like multiplication, but it actually is. And I just spoke about that about the body, right? But I'll take you to the first miracle he does. What the first they say the first miracle he did is John 2 with the water and the wine.
Yeah.
Don't have to go into the whole story. Y'all know it. There's a lot of jokes about it or whatever. But the concept is, they said they need wine.
Right.
His mama, they knew who to send to him. They sent his mama. They knew not to send nobody else over there. Send his mama. He gonna listen to his mama.
Right.
Ain't that Jesus sitting back there? Oh, I know. Let me see if he. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They might have seen the boy do it somewhere else.
Right.
So she come up there. He says, she says, whatsoever he says to you, do it. That's rhythm too. Whatsoever he says to you, do it. Whatsoever he says to you, do it. It's almost rhythm, right? It's talking in rhythm. All conversations rhythm, right? Whatsoever he says to you, do it. And Jesus, knowing what he had and who he is, he doesn't conjure up this anointing. And then when it was time when they needed wine, Jesus said, let the band play a couple worship songs.
Nope.
And so we can get into the presence of God. That wasn't in there? That's not in there?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to do another one. And when they needed wine, they came, and Jesus says, come everybody, grab hand, let's pray in the spirit. What, that's not in there either?
Nope.
Okay. So it's so I got a sweatshirt. I'm going to pray later. So that's what he really was saying. This is not time to pray. What does he do? Knowing who he is and what he has, and knowing what the command he has on earth is. I don't want to even say it like that, because it's really not like that. It's almost I'm in rhythm with how it goes. It's supposed to be multiplication. Multiplication multiplication is not special.
Right.
It's not miraculous. It's actually what's supposed to happen right now. While you sit here right now, cells are multiplying in our bodies. Right, the air is multiplying. It's a multiplication. It's just, there is no lack. Right. I want to be clear that there's no such thing as lack. If you perceive lack, or you think there is lack, or you saying, yeah, there is lack, or whatever it is, that's a perception that you have of not knowing what you really have. Watch me. And it's an unalignment. If there's a lack, quote unquote, lack in a place, there's an unalignment. Maybe that place isn't the place, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
He says, okay, go get them water pots, fill them with water, right? And fill them with water, and then come back and serve it. Right? And he said, it was miraculous because the water, but water is in wine. All fruit, okay, wine usually comes from grapes. Grape juice. You have juice in grapes.
Yep.
Grapes have liquid in them.
Yep.
Where do the grapes get the liquid from? Oh, there is no liquid without water. How do grapes live without water?
Right.
Grapes can't live without water, can they?
No.
Can grapes go? They got their own juice. They got their own juice that they make. No. It comes from the vine.
Yep.
Grapes are on the vine.
Yep.
I'm the vine, you the branches.
Yep.
John 15, right?
Yep.
Comes from the vine. I'm the vine, you the branches. Every branch of me that bear not fruit, bad fruit I purge it. You got to bear fruit, but it comes. Why do you need a vine? Because there's a rhythm, there's a lane, there's a vessel to travel through. What's traveling through there? Oh, nutrients. Oh, water.
Water.
Oh, so you mean a grape begins with water? All right, EJ, this is too simple. So if the grape begins with water, right?
Right.
Then the only thing that happens in this situation is he speeds up the BPMs.
Yeah.
He speeds up the rhythm.
Yep.
He went from a slow jam R&B to EDM. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he speeds up the rhythm, and he bypasses this whole process that you think needs to happen.
Yep.
Right? He bypassed the whole process of the time it takes for the grape, and then they're going to be stepping on the grapes or stuff like that, whatever they did with them, the fermentation, all that. He bypasses the fermentation, the processing, and all that, and goes straight to it because he understands the rhythm, and he understands what he has. So because he understands what he has, he takes command over the process. Jump. We feeding the 5,000.
Yep. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Now I'm going to show
Yep.
you two perspectives. And it's funny because the people could have, I always say the people could have went a night without eating. I mean, they talk about fasting in those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seemed like they should have been a fasting meeting. We came out here with Jesus into the wilderness. This is a fasting meeting. Let's get off into the spirit of the, the upper realms and the threshing floors and the whatever, all that stuff, right? That stuff
Yeah.
It seemed like that should have been a perfect time to do it. But Jesus said, "Now we need to feed these people lest they fast." I'm like, "What, Jesus? I thought you wanted them to fast." He said, "Nah, we need to feed the people." I love it, bro. I love it, right? So he said, he said, "Man, feed the people." He told the disciples, "Man, y'all feed the people." So I look around like, "Man, we ain't got nothing but how we gonna feed these people? We ain't got what you mean feed the people." The perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus does it all the time to challenge perspective.
Yep.
Even when he says stuff, Jesus said, like, "Eat my body, drink my body." He would say outrageous things.
Right.
He's challenging perspective because you don't know what you have.
Yep.
You get it?
Yep.
You've been tricked by the system, and now you're working in a slower pace.
Yep.
It's a slower and a lower
Yep.
rhythm. It's a slower and a lower. You're working at a slower and a lower pace, right? Watch me. And so, how we gonna feed these people? They say. So they start giving their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
They're giving the rhythm that they're at. Well, but 200 pennyworth is not enough. That's how you say pennyworth. In other words, we ain't got no money. even some of the money we got in the bag, it still wouldn't be enough to feed, all these thousands of people.
Yeah.
Right? He say, he doesn't even acknowledge that conversation. He doesn't even acknowledge the conversation about money, which is hilarious. And I think he doesn't even acknowledge money as being a resource for trying to take care of what needs to be taken care of. He doesn't even acknowledge it. He doesn't even answer him.
No, I just thought about this too.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even make sense to bring up the money because they was in the wilderness. Where were you gonna go get food from anyway?
The places were closing, number one. And number two, the time that it would take to go and get it is ridiculous. It'd have been time. It'd have been nighttime already.
Yeah.
They'd have fasted.
Yeah.
To pass out, all right. So, yeah, I'm sure it took time. I'm sure it took a while to pass out anyway, right?
Right.
He says, and then another one said, this is the perspective. He said, they got a lad here with 5 loaves and 2 fish, but what are they among so many? Now you didn't even have to add that. Just say they got a lad here with 5 loaves and 2 fish.
That's all you had to say.
But because your rhythm is like that, it proves to Jesus where your rhythm is.
Mm-hmm.
He said, give it in. Y'all do this because you're not gonna do this part. So just gonna make the people sit down. Y'all, I know y'all can do that much. Putting his hand. Now he reads the room.
Mm-hmm.
He's reading the room because he knows what they see is not enough. He sees, put something in my hands.
Right.
And then, a long story short, he began to break the bread and the fish. And obviously that's cell multiplication. It's a miracle. No, cells multiply. How did they, hold on, 5 loaves and how many fish? How was there not only 1 fish in the history of the world in the first place?
Right.
Oh, there's 2 fish, right? Where those 2 fish come from? Cell multiplication.
Yep.
Me and you right now, EJ, are products, and we're going to talk about grace. We're products of cell multiplication already.
Yeah.
That's the grace of God right there.
Right.
Unmerited favor. You didn't even work to get here.
Right.
And you're here. Right?
Yep.
That's another, that'll be the next pod, y'all.
Yep.
But it's a cell multiplication. So he knows this. So put it in my hands. And the multiplication that I know that I am,
Mm-hmm.
it makes this do the same thing. It's just more of what it is already.
Mm.
You get it? It's almost like when they do business, they try to scale them. They say, if I can do it efficiently at this rate and rhythm right now, then I can do this 1,000 more times and scale my business.
Right.
Right? It's all scale. It's all rhythms and scales. You get it? But if you don't know what you have, and the last one, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it real quick, because in the Red 30, we almost say, how much time we got left? Let me see. All right, you got a few seconds left. Watch this. Even when he tells the man, take up your bed and walk, or even when he tells the man, go wash in the pool and your eyes will be open, or whatever other miracle, that's multiplication.
Right.
The multiplication of the cells in your body and your bone and your muscles came together, which your body was already trying to do it. Some kind of way there was a stoppage in the rhythm. Multiplication to make everything get back into the place to where you're made whole, right? But if you don't know what you have, then you can't read the room properly. And Jesus is trying to teach us not to do miracles, but to read the room. If you could read the room, watch this, you ready? It's rhythm. If you can read the room, righteousness becomes regular. This is Red 30, guys. We're gonna leave with a little music and then we'll be out of here. Red 30, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. This the last. 2 minutes of the song. We had to stop at the beginning. Yeah, let's go.
Beautiful Savior, we worship you. Oh, sovereign King, yeah. We worship you forevermore, forever, forever.